Okay, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we're going to be doing a double exposure image which looks similar to the one on the screen at the moment. Now, double exposure comes from the old days of film photography where it was possible to take a photo of a portrait and accidentally forget to wind on and take another photo of a landscape, and you would have the same piece of film double exposed. So we're going to use Photoshop to create a similar effect. Now you can download the start images in the description box below. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start by just deleting all of these layers so we're at the same start point. So there we have the picture of the model, and then here we have the picture of the forest scene. You notice in the forest scene we've got very dark areas and very light areas, and if you use a similar image that would be fantastic. I'm going to go Command and A to get my marching ants all the way around the edge, and Command and C to copy. I'm going to go back into my model image and I'm going to go Command and V, and here we can see we have the landscape layer. Now what I'm going to do is down to my background layer, which is the model layer. I'm going to duplicate the layer by going Command J. I now have a duplicate layer there. I'm going to hide my landscape layer so I can see my under model layer a bit easier. I'm going to come over to my selection tool, and then I'm going to just hit subject select subject, and I will allow Photoshop to select the model from the background for me. Now in this instance it has missed a few pieces here, so I'm just going to get my lasso tool. I'm going to make sure that I'm on my plus up here, and then I'm just going to draw around the bit that it has missed, double click, and that will add it to the selection. Now that I have selected my model on this copy, I'm just going to go ahead and create a layer mask by hitting my layer mask down here. I'm going to hide my layer below so we can see what effect of this layer mask has done. I'm going to bring my landscape image in by clicking the eyeball here, and we can now see the landscape, and then we need to make sure that the landscape image is active by clicking on this layer. It's a little bit big in the scene, so I'm going to Command and T to transform it and just make it a little bit smaller and move it around so it's occupying the vast majority of the scene. I'm happy with that. I'm going to apply my transform by clicking this up here. Now what I need to do is I need to right click my landscape layer, and I need to create a clipping mask. And what a clipping mask does, as you can see, it's got this little down arrow here. It then clips this layer to this layer mask over here. Okay, so at the moment I can't see the girl at all underneath this layer, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a layer mask here, and making sure that I'm in the layer mask by clicking this, I'm going to bring my brush tool, which is B for brush, and I can change the size of my brush by holding down my Control and Option buttons and clicking left or right to make my brush bigger and smaller, and up or down to make my brush harder or softer, like that. So I'm going to go for one at about this size here, and then making sure that I'm in my layer mask here, making sure that my foreground color is black. If it's not black, you could just click these ones here and it will return it to the default, and we want to click it over so the foreground color here is black. Then I'm just going to go ahead and paint in some of the model, not all of the model, just the key features of the face, the eyes, the nose and the mouth, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and create my own background color. Now in order to do that, I need to think about the colors that I actually want. So I'm going to click in here and I get a pipette, and I'm going to go for some skin tone shade, maybe her skin there, and I'm going to hit OK. I want it to be a light color, and then my background color, which is this one down here, I click the background color, it gives me the pipette, and I want to go for a darker color, maybe one of these dark greens, blacks down here, and hit OK to that. So my foreground color is light and my background color is dark. Then I go down to my bottom layer down here, and I click an adjustment layer here, and I go ahead and hit my gradient tool. And under the gradient, it allows me to choose any gradient that I like, and I'm going to choose under my basic tab the very first one on the top left, which is actually my foreground color to my background color, which in this instance is like that. I like this, so I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now the final thing I want to do is I want to balance the colors a little bit, because at the moment they're a little bit contrasty. So I go to the very top layer, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click this and I'm going to initiate a gradient tool. And this time I'm going to go for a blue gradient tool. Anyone will do. I'm just going to choose this one over here. I like it. I'm going to hit OK. The final step is to then blend through this gradient layer to the layers below. So you can come down and to find anything that you like. So you just keep going down until you find something of interest. I kind of like this one on hard light or maybe vivid light, and I'm going to choose that. I like the image as it is. I do hope you found this tutorial useful. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up, as it helps me tremendously. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.